So don't mind the glasses. I'm having a bit of an issue with this eye, and if you saw the Sebastian York video from Wednesday, you know that I filmed this on the same day. I just filmed that one earlier when I still had my contacts in. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. My name is Monica, and it's great to see you guys here again. Today I am doing something a little unique. This is a I would like to call it a check-in. So this is me checking in with my favorites. I tend to love my books right after I read them, and then sometimes I get a little like, oh, did I really like that or not? So between January and April of this year, which is 2023, I have had 33 favorites of the year. Now, most of them, I can tell you, are still favorites, but I'm going to do a tier ranking video to figure out whether or not I need to reread them by the end of the year, or if I just know that they're going to be on my top 23 of 2023, or if I realize it was a good time, but it's not going to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and try and figure out, make sure I am doing this correctly. Okay, so we are going to start recording. Make sure we get this all correct. Here we go. All right. Okay, so hopefully this works because this is the first time I've done this. All right, so we're just gonna go in whatever order. Okay, so I started with the words. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was really good. I remember it being a great time, and it's still a great time. Would I want to reread it, or it will be on my top. That's just it. Okay, so the next one is Whispers of You by Catherine Cowles. All right, so I know she has more coming up. She just had Echoes of You released, and I've already read that, but this is not going to be in this one. This will be the next one. The next check-in. I think I am going to need to reread because I want to pick the best Catherine Cowles book to put on my list. Get Thee Off My Lawn. That was just, I remember that being a great time, and I don't think I need to reread it, and I don't think it's going to be the top favorite, but I loved it. It was fantastic. I still need to get that in my collection because it was so good. Okay, Between Hello and Goodbye. That was very angsty, very emotional. I loved it in the moment, but there are some issues that people were talking about that I actually agree with. But would I want to reread it? It's not going to be on the... sorry, my glasses are bothering me. I'm used to contacts. Okay. It's not going to be on top 23, so I'm just going to put it in. I just remember being a good time. Okay, so let me just find my ACOTAR books. Okay. That one. So, A Court of Mist and Fury. I'm just going to say I just remember it being a good time because there's no way I'm going to reread that one. Same with A Court of Wings and Ruin, simply because A Court of Silver Flames is going to be on my top 23 of 2023. That book just blew the Court of Rings. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The Court of Wings and Ruin, or Aquor, or however you say it. A Court of Silver Flames blew them out of the water. I loved Nesta and Cassian, so top that one, Sarah J. Maas, because I don't know if you can. In a Jam. I think I'm going to have to reread that book. I loved it in the moment. Jason Clark. And the little girl. Oh, the pirate. The little girl who cosplays as a pirate. Okay, it's just going to go in my top 2023, but I still might read it anyway because I loved it that much. Okay. Let's see. Why did that do that? The Good Daughter. Great. I just remember it being a great time. That was a fantastic book. It's a thriller. Check trigger warnings. There's some on page. Really bad debauchery. It was bad. You saw what happened to those girls, and it was hard to read. But that being said, it's a great book. I enjoyed it. Bad Mother. I loved it. Sebastian York. Love me Sebastian York. And Mia Sheridan. She's so good at romantic suspense. You know, I'm going to put it Just Remember Being a Good Time because, frankly, I loved it. But I didn't know if it would make the top 23 of 2023. Wolf and the Wildflower. That one is just perfection. That will just go up there. I won't have to reread it, but I will reread it. And I'm going to have to say same with Grimm and Barrett as well. Okay. Funny Feelings. I'm just like all over the place. Not doing this in order. Funny Feelings. Is it I Just Remember It Being a Good Time? Or, I don't know. I need to reread. You know, it's just going to be a good time. Yours truly. Top tier. Evilise. A Rogue's Rule for Seduction. I'm going to have to reread that one. Heartless Duke. Best. Enemies to Lovers. Banter. Ooh, when he calls her Banshee. I loved it. Because he called her Banshee as a way of saying I don't like you, and then it just sort of morphed into I love you. It's really interesting. Okay, Heartless, no brainer. Romancing the Duke, it's probably gonna have to be a reread. The Game, that's gonna be a reread. Make-A-Wish. Okay, so the thing with Make-A-Wish is I love Helena Hunting. Some of her stuff is really strong, some of it's not, but I just generally love her as a writer, and she's a very good person. So when I read this, I was going through some pretty rough things. This first part of the first part of 2023 was really traumatizing for my family, and when I read this, I needed the low angst. Well, it had some angst to it, but I needed it when I did. So I'm just gonna put in I remember it being a great time. I just don't think I'm gonna have to reread it. Coach would reread because there's more Devney Perry coming up. Blame It on the Tequila. That's gonna have to be a reread. I loved it. Oh my gosh, Jason Clarke again. And that was Rockstar, and I don't generally like Rockstar, but oh, I love that one. Okay, and then let's do Nobody's Duke. I'm just gonna say that it was, I just remember it being a great time. It was a 5-star, and I still love it, and I still stand behind it. Like, I stand behind all these books. These are all 5-star reads for me. It's just choosing the best of the best. And Serpent in the Wings of Night. Is that the best of the best? See, I don't know. Alright, I'm going to put that in need to reread, but it might go down to I just remember it being a great time after I read the sequel, because the sequel might be better. So I am going to hold out for the sequel. Let's see. Sinner. It's just going to have to go up there. Sinner was one of the best books I read this year, by far. Trist. I think I'm going to have to say I just remember it being a great time. The thing that made me love Trist the most is that they all acted like mature adults. I love it when they all act like mature adults. It's fantastic. I love that book because of it. Okay, For Lucy. I might have to reread it, although I don't know if I want to put myself through that again. Not the same. Maybe next year. Might have to read it next year, but would it be on my top 23? I'm going to put it to I need to reread just for now. I can move it because I'm actually going to add to this when we do the next one. When I add, I'll let you know how I do this when I'm done with this. Let me just focus. Holy crap. It's tiring. All right. Daring Beast. Or no, I'm sorry, Darling Beast. That's a great time. I really enjoyed that Elizabeth Holt book. It was fantastic. Does not beat The Highwayman, not even close. Although I might want to reread it. You know, I will, these can move at any time, so. Okay, so Sinbin. I just remember it being a great time. Okay, so help me remember. Great time. It wasn't my favorite in the series. I think my favorite in the series, because I read all of these series, like I binged them, and they're so good. They were all 5 stars. I mean, everyone had a bit of an issue, I guess, but for me, it was what story I loved the most. And I'm gonna have to give it to Keep This Promise, because it was that good. Like, I loved that one the most. I loved the dynamic between, and it is Secret Baby. Shh. It is Secret Baby, so I guess that's not, but it's not your typical Secret Baby. And I'm gonna have to say Give Me Love is gonna have to go into, I just remember it being a great time. Okay, I think I am okay with all this right now. So I am gonna go ahead and end the recording. Okay, so that is it. So the next one I'm going to do, or the next check-in I will do, is for, see, I did January, February, March, April, so that's 4 months. So it would be May, June, July, August. So in September you'll see this, and then in December I'll do the big wrap up. But so stay tuned and we'll see what's going on in September. See if I can add any more to the top 23 of the 2023, or how I'm gonna have to move them down. That's not necessarily my top 10. My top 10 I will figure out in December, but I just want to make sure that I am focusing on what needs to be reread, and because I can't reread all those books in the month of December. That's just not going to happen. And I want to make sure that I am choosing the best of the best. Specifically because I do not repeat authors. I just don't think that's fair to every author that I come across, because I generally love, like, I could say all of Devney Perry's is my favorite. Well, most of them. Same with Rebecca Yarros, same with Kennedy Ryan. I could have them repeated on my list over and over again, but then that leaves out the ones that I truly loved, but they didn't quite hit the same way as a Kennedy Ryan book, or a Devney Perry book, or a Catherine Cowles book, or a Rebecca Yarros book. So that's why I like to give it the spot to one book, their best of their best, that came out in the year of 2023. So we shall see. Anyway, let me know what your favorite read so far from January to April. And if you've made it this far, leave me an animal emoji, any animal, because I have leopard print on my glasses and I normally don't wear them, but I kind of like them. Anyway, so until my next video, happy reading, everybody. Bye.